Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Lookit, an audio trip down memory lane. Toys and trends and turntables from the days of then. Tonight's episode is titled The Legend of Zelda.
Welcome to the Lookit podcast, where all your dreams come true. This is the show that takes you back, shows you around, and reminds you of the good old days. Now here's your host, Zerpiniger.
1987 in the beginning of fall. I'm getting my bike ready for another trip around Arlington, Virginia's bike trail. Our trail went right down from my street into DC in about 10 minutes on a good downhill day, and about 20 minutes on a normal pedaling day. However, the ratio to pedaling per minute is somewhat sketchy. Let's just say I was close to Washington, D.C. As I'm riding around the trail, I thought of something wonderful, a living Legend of Zelda game along the bike trail. I was mesmerized by Zelda at age 17, and I wanted to replicate the search missions I found in the game, but in real life. So I went home and I grabbed some markers and I drew out some Tektites and some levers and a Princess Zelda and a Triforce on paper. Then using packaging tape, I taped them to the bottom of some rather large rocks along the bike trail. I went back home and mapped out where the rocks were that I had taped pictures to, but I didn't say which rock had what. I called up 4 of my buddies who were into the game as much as I was, and gave them each a map. The object of the game was to find Princess Zelda. If you came across a Triforce, you got second prize. If you came across one of the enemies, you got third prize. Now the prizes I never came up with, and in fact, the game never happened. Never took place. All my buds decided that I was a freak and a geek and didn't want to play. I've always been told I had too much time on my hands, but to be honest, how many of you want to play the game that I just mentioned? Come on, tell me. Go ahead, I'll close my eyes and just say your names, that's fine. In February of 1986, flagship Capcom, Vanpool, and a company called Grezzo developed a game created by Japanese game designers Shigeru Miyamoto and Takashi Tezuka. I hope I didn't destroy those names. The game was called The Legend of Zelda, and it was first released on the Famicom Disk System. Then in August of 1987, it was released in the US for the Nintendo Entertainment System. The first thing that caught my eye was the fact that this game came on a gold-colored game cartridge instead of the console's regular gray cartridges. It was shiny and all cool-like, and it was my precious.
After this message, we'll be right back.
Hi, partner, Reed.
Hi, fellas.
Roy Rogers.
See, that's a pretty tricky hat, isn't it? Partners, how would you like to surprise your pals like that? Well, you can with my new Roy Rogers Quick Shooter hat. It's by Ideal. And here's how the Quick Shooter hat works. Just press this secret button right here, and a replica of an authentic Western pistol pops out and fires. It's your secret weapon, even when they think you're unarmed. So get Ideal's new Roy Rogers Quick Shooter hat at your favorite store today, and you'll always be ready for anything. Ask for Ideal's new Roy Rogers Quick Shooter hat.
And now, back to Lookit.
Back then, my brother-in-law loved this game as much as I did. He taught me how to map out every single move I made on that game. I headed to the store and bought me some of that graph paper, and I mapped out all of the cities in the game. Had a nice stack of maps that sadly have been tossed since those days. I know I have some stashed somewhere, but I think I'll have to check. I never finished the original game. I'm a tiny bit of a geek and a tiny bit of a nerd, but I'm not nerd enough to finish the entire game. Although the game is amazing and I love it dearly, I slowly noticed that the more I played, I was playing the same thing over and over with just harder enemies and I wasn't getting anywhere. Yes, I gave up on the princess. I remember the last level I played being a very long and dark cave, and realizing that if I don't stop playing this, one of these 3 things would happen. Number 1, I would never find another job again. Number 2, I will find the princess and be depressed because it was over and I couldn't bear that. And number 3, this was a gateway game that led to more sorcery and wizardry games, and I was not a fan of any of those types of games. One thing I loved about the game of Zelda was the music that was included with the game. It was written by a Japanese composer named Koji Kondo, who was born in August of 1961. He was a video game composer and a sound director who was employed at Nintendo since 1984. He wrote scores for all of the Mario series and all of the Legend of Zelda series. There's been a lot of Zelda games that came out in the years after 1987's The Legend of Zelda. Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link came out in 1988. And I'm just going to read the rest of these as if we're at an award show, and I'm going to put in an audience clapping as if they won something, just for my own personal enjoyment and for you as well. A Link to the Past in 1992. Link's Awakening in 1993. Ocarina of Time in 1998. Majora's Mask in 2000. Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons in 2001. Four Swords in 2002. The Wind Waker in 2003. Four Swords Adventures in 2004. The Minish Cap in 2004. The Twilight Princess in 2006. Phantom Hourglass in 2007. Spirit Tracks in 2009. Skyward Sword in 2011. And, as of late, in the E3 2013 get-together, where all of us dorks get together and have a blast thinking of cool things we're going to enjoy in the future, The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds was announced. Not too sure what the release date is for that. The reasons I loved playing Zelda was because of the following. I appreciated the fact that this short little pointy-eared fellow was working so hard on saving the princess. And I loved searching for all of the items across such a huge mapped-out land. I loved the music, and searching for all of the treasure, and the aspect of all the skeletons and the sea monsters and the dragons trying to kill me. I miss the simplicity of the game's graphics, yet the three-dimensional rendering of all the graphics in 8-bit were amazing for the time. Zelda is and will always be one of my favorite games ever made. And the legend shall always live on with plenty of Octorocks and Tektites and P-Hats and Levers. And I do look forward to trying out this new game in 2013. It looks very interesting, and if you want to see a trailer, go to Google. Thank you for listening to episode 5 of Lookit. Join me next time when we access another memory from the days of then. So until then.
All of Zerbinator's music and podcasts are under the Creative Commons license, which allows retelling and rebroadcasting as long as the author is notified and credited. For more great escape pods, please visit www.zerbinator.wordpress.com. If you would like to contact Zerbinatorland, you can send an email to instrumentally@gmail.com or give us a call at 571-408-ZERB or 9372.